Welcome to my low back stretching routine with a exercise ball. All I need is a ball, like medium size like that, and a chair. You will start sitting in a chair like this. All right, so feet apart, hands on the ball. If you have a little less range, a little bigger ball might be more helpful. But if this kind of size is all you have, you just don't go as far. But what you're doing is you're gonna roll forward until you get a stretch in your low back. So this routine is gonna be a lot of lumbar flexion. So people who are okay with stretching their lumbar spine in that way. And then roll on up. And it helps with your stiffness, or if you have back issues or whatnot. This is a way I like to get people stretching, if that works for them. Go ahead and drop your head to take some deep breaths into your rib cage. So where you also feel this stretch, depending on kind of where some of your stiffness is, how far you go, is in your upper back too. So you also get some of that thoracic spine, and then shoulders may get a stretch too. If you are someone who lacks some shoulder mobility, I'm also stretching my arm or shoulder into flexion. One big thing I like to emphasize here, rest your arms on the ball as much as you need, only go as far as you need. Rest that neck and head. That part's a biggie. And take some deep breaths while you're there. I like doing kind of more dynamic stretching with this routine, at least, where you roll forward and you're there for a couple of breaths or 10 seconds type of thing. Or until your body says, okay, let's come out of that stretch and let's do that again. When you come out, roll up one vertebrae at a time, sit up tall, and then go ahead, do a pelvic tilt first, post your pelvic tilt, and then roll forward. If you want to get a little bit more specific and really get in that stretch in your low back, I will demonstrate that to the side here. So what I did was I did a posterior pelvic tilt first to already start some lumbar flexion, and then I rolled forward from there. That's a little trick you can do. Again, the further you go, if I'm straightening my low back more, and going a little further because I have a little more motion, I might be getting more of an upper back stretch. It also depends on kind of what your body needs and what your body's craving. So body mechanics, that was an example of how important body mechanics are. Okay, so we're going to continue this, but getting into a little bit of that side body. So I'm going to go to the diagonal now. I do this a lot with patients who have tightness in their quadratus lumborum, or their muscle on their side of their, kind of the side of the back almost. One side of their low back. Roll on up. And switch sides. So if that felt like it really needed to be on one side more than the other, you could stay there for a few more breaths or more repetitions. As I'm coming back, I'm rolling the ball back. I'm supporting myself as I'm coming up through my arms on the ball. Go ahead and roll that ball down to the other way. You might just get to here. That's perfectly fine if that's a good stretch for you. Roll the ball up and switch sides. Again. With this one, you can do the kind of the pelvic tilt first, get that low back rounded first before you roll the ball away. Or you can keep your back, your low back neutral, more of a hinge at your hips, especially if you're a person who doesn't do well with lumbar flexion and you need to just get more, you're trying to get more mobility in the upper back and shoulders. So what that looks like to the other side is if I demonstrate here, I'm not actually rounding up my low back anymore. I'm hinging and I'm focusing on getting that thoracic mobility. Okay? So it depends on your individual needs a little bit. Okay, one more stretch with the ball. Sitting is a side bend. So I just love this with the ball to give a little bit of support. As I really get a nice stretch in my side body. If you want, you can go a little deeper and get on your elbows. Just, you know, recognize that the ball is kind of unstable there too. And let's switch sides. Two more with the ball. There are two more of my favorites. Are just the good old-fashioned rolling the ball towards the bum with your feet on the ball, rolling the ball away. So where this is stretching is your low back, your hips, so knees into chest. Roll away. Again, roll, knees into chest. Roll away. We might just get to here, that's okay. This is also going to be bending your knees, getting some knee mobility if you need that as well. You'll also get that. Okay, now you're going to bring that ball all the way kind of to your bum. I really get my whole leg on the ball as much as possible for this one. I put my arms out to a T and I do a lower trunk rotation. So what I'm doing is I'm keeping my trunk on the ground as I roll the ball with my legs and my hips back and forth. You can get a little bit more if you lift one leg over the other leg. So my right leg is on the ball towards my right side. My left leg lifts up and over. Take my hand to kind of reinforce that stretch a little bit. So I get a little bit more into my glutes here. I'll show that on the other side. If you want more, you can just stay here, but you can take that leg that's kind of on top, bring it over, take that other hand to reinforce a little bit more of a rotation in the trunk, and then also getting into a little bit more of a hip stretch here. Again, we can just stay here.